Greetings, my fellow wealth hackers. I hope you're all crushing it out there. I know many of you are. I see your posts on social media, and I'm lucky enough to hang out with some of you in person. A close friend of mine, who's also a client of ours, shared with me how his stock hacking and real estate investments that he's making, and he's making significantly more than his spouse, who's been working 12-hour days at a corporate job that pays six figures. Pretty not bad, eh? Their cash flow alone. So his cash flow alone from stock hacking exceeds his spouse's work income. It's pretty crazy how far a little education, a little crazy, and investment in oneself goes. If you feel your crushing could use some leveling up, we offer free training on the #1 investment strategy in Ontario, free virtual city tours on the top places to invest in Ontario. Our IWIN meetings are simply outstanding. They are virtual for now. We'll be going back to in person as we get ever closer to opening back up. We have the leading subject matter expert, Andy Tran, sharing the latest on backyard suiting, as in building an apartment in one's backyard to rent out, the latest on zoning, financing, rents, construction, etc. We also have Meridian Credit Union in the house, sharing how they're different from other banks. Hence, we went with Meridian to refinance a bunch of our investment properties using our corporation alone to qualify for the financing. We do have to personally guarantee these mortgages, I believe, but we were able to free up our personal credit to buy more properties. And I'll explain with an example. So actually, the presentation that Meridian will be doing alone will cause some aha moments among both new and veteran investors alike. Mostly the veteran investors, because I actually think a lot of them, including us, were doing it wrong for so many years. For example, when we went to go get a mortgage on our new home with Meridian, they had just financed our rental properties in our corporation. We disclosed to Meridian that they had, because we're speaking to someone in personal versus small business, that we were speaking to someone in personal banking that we have, that they have our investment portfolio, and they didn't even look at our properties. Even though they know that our properties are there at the bank, sorry, at Meridian Credit Union, they didn't even look at our portfolio that was with them. Because we were dealing with a personal home. Now your situation may be different, but that's our experience. So you really don't want to miss this presentation. And the date, I believe, is March something, coming up soon. But you know what? I may not have that data, the information offhand, but if you're on my email list already, you're already receiving email updates and invites to these events. If you're not, well, that's just silly. You can go to www.infinitywealth.ca, enter your name and email, and you're done. You'll be tapped into the happenings that we have going on currently to help current and future wealth hackers. And you know what actually happened? Back in 2010, I had emailed out a property to my entire list, everyone on my list, on my entire email list of about 12 people at the time. And one person stepped up and bought the property that I suggested. And just this week, she texted me, letting me know that her appraisal just came in for $600,000, which happens to be 4 times the price of the house she paid back in 2010. I think that deserves repeating. The house that she bought from me in 2010 has appreciated 4 times in price. My response to her is, "I think you owe me a lunch," to which she's happy to do so. On the personal side of things, things couldn't be much crazier in Cherry and I's world. In the last 30 days, we hosted Stock Hacker Academy for just over 12 new students. It's actually significantly more than that. We are moving. So if you've been following along, we sold our home. We bought a new house in December. So we are moving and our house is being packed. If you're looking at this video now, you'll see there's boxes behind me because we have nowhere else to store boxes. My daughter just finished self-isolation as she was exposed to COVID. She just tested negative for the second time, so now we can move on with this. Our student rentals are slow to fill as students wait on the sidelines, waiting to see if they're back to school in person this fall. My guess is yes, they will be back to school, and so this should be some short-term suffering. So if you are in buying mode, student rentals probably make a lot of sense. We have a bunch of new hires at work and more on the way. We kicked off our Easter Basket Brigade charity efforts. We are donating $20,000 worth of spring clothing to the underprivileged elementary school kids of Hamilton. There was a bit of a minor meltdown in tech stocks. I have my hands in a little bit of everything. So my portfolio took a bit of a hit in the last 2-3 weeks. And specifically tech stocks, something that I have too much of. The new house is being renovated and the scope grows each day. For example, what started with the plan was to renovate our main bathroom. That's the name of it now because you can't call it the old name. This is the bathroom that's attached to my main bedroom, the biggest bedroom in the home. Anyways, we're looking to make that bathroom more functional. We're removing the corner tub because we're shower type people. So we've actually doubled the size of the shower. We've gutted the bathroom. So our plan is to double the size of the shower. We're upgrading the single sink vanity to a double. Big project, right? Then we're also doing the kids' bathroom. So that's getting done too. And just more recently, we decided to do the kitchen. Yeah. So and then the fridge died too. Thankfully, the sellers are awesome people and they sent us some money to go towards a new fridge. Then we're also turning the basement closet and office nook into a bedroom for our nanny's teenage daughter. Oh yeah, we bought a house with an in-law suite so our nanny could move with us to our new home with her family. Happy nanny, happy life. Plus our nanny was a lifesaver with our kids since our kids were having to do online school from home during this whole pandemic thing. Not the whole time, but for a good chunk of time. She'd watch the kids while Cherry and I were able to go to the office and work. All this craziness going on, and I still managed to cash flow $8,300 US this week. Fingers crossed that for another good month, since 20% of my trading profits go to the charity. So for all you haters out there, I know there's some of you out there. I know there's quite a good number of you out there. If you hate what I'm doing, please send in your best advice so that the underprivileged elementary school kids of Hamilton, both public and Catholic school boards, can benefit. Speaking of kids, a young man, Adnan, a university student from the University of Western Ontario, which is the same school I went to, he reached out to me asking if I would be the subject for a school project on personal finance. Now, I'm not a great educator nor a storyteller, but he just said, I'll ask the questions, you just answer. I have some experiences to share. So this episode is the tables are turned and Adnan is asking the questions. Maybe this episode isn't for you, but maybe it would help someone on the younger side. So please enjoy. Hi, Adnan.
Hey.
Where are you now?
In London.
You go to school in London, right? You from London?
Yeah. No, I'm actually from Brantford.
How come you're in London? You in class?
No, I just had class. Majority of my courses are online. I already had my place here. I'd already rented it out and I'd already signed the lease and everything.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm with my roomies and it's just a better experience, better focus here instead of at home.
Sounds good. And then the program you're in, I don't think it existed when I went to school, which was a long time ago. Wait, how old are you?
Yeah. I'm 22.
You're 22. Wow.
Yeah.
I graduated 2002.
Oh, okay.
Wow, you're making me feel old.
Yeah, I was 4 years old then.
This interview's over.
Nice.
No, sorry, what's the name of your program?
So it's Business Management and Organizational Studies. Basically, the short form is BMOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that actually came up shortly after I left.
I think it's fairly new. It's under the Dan Management faculty.
Nice. What year are you in?
Fifth year.
Fifth year.
Yeah.
That's not Ivy then, right?
No, I'm not Ivy. No.
You don't want to go?
I had planned on going, but then I just decided, with cost and everything, it just wasn't worth it, I guess.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
What's the cost now?
I think it's about $38,000 a semester, per year.
Okay.
Yeah. Around there, I guess, yeah.
When I went, it was, I got him before I got really stupid. I think I paid $10,000 my first year and $11,000 the second. For Ivy.
Yeah.
No, dude, before that, it was still regulated. So before that, it was like 6 or
Oh.
7,000.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, now it's like triple the cost. Now it's crazy.
At least laptops have come down because my laptop was like $4,200 because we were the first year where laptops were mandatory for everyone. They screwed us all up because we had Wi-Fi in class. And then the year after us, they turned off Wi-Fi in classes.
Wow, that's terrible.
So we screwed it up for everybody.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. All right, ask away.
Okay, first question. How would you define financial success?
There's different stages. The first stage would be, I don't even know what the first stage would be. There's so many ways to define it. Some of these things are soft as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to begin. Paying off your student debt, that's the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
Paying off any sort of debts like car loans, your mortgage. I think those are great ones. As you progress in your ability to make money, I think there's some other great ones. From my own experience, it's quite rewarding when you can spend money without really worrying about the cost on family.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you.
For example, as a Christmas present to my family, I bought them a trip to Disney World and a Disney cruise, which includes my mom as well. So it's going to be a very significant expense. And I paid for it with just 1 week of cash flow from my stock options trading.
Nice. Awesome. Sweet.
Right. So this is it's my third side hustle that paid for a bucket list item for my mom.
Cool. Next question. What traits do you believe were integral to your financial success?
Being frugal, being inquisitive. By having an open mind, that's always led me to ask more questions, and that would lead to more answers. And then continuous improvement, which is something we learned in Ivy. That's something we learned at Western.
Nice.
Continuous improvement, Kaizen. I'm sure you're familiar with. You're in your 5th year of business studies. Kaizen, which is taught, which is a very popular business philosophy that was heavily made popular by Toyota. So always improving everything. I was having a discussion with one of my staff yesterday. She was astounded by how much we've grown in the last few years. And then I explained to her, this is standard business theory. You always evaluate your business, you find where your gaps are, then you fill those gaps, right?
Yeah.
So the growth that we've done, it had to be done. We had to source more supply for our real estate investors. So we've spent a lot of time building that side of the business. And then also, there's not much cash flow in real estate investing. So we had to explore other opportunities to generate cash flow. And for us, it was what we call stock hacking, which is you're in business, so you studied this stuff in school, options trading.
Yes.
Right. So this was
actually taking a course on derivatives, so financial derivatives. So just about like forwards, futures, swaps, all that type of stuff.
Fantastic. Make sure you learn how to actually make money with that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was the question that was never answered in school for us. I understood it all textbook wise. I didn't know actually how to implement it to make money.
For sure.
Right. That's another thing that was taught from us at Western was we learned a lot of our business concepts and best practices by studying great businesses. Right. We studied Southwest Airlines, for example, which is probably the strongest airline in the States right now. Even with everything that's going on, they'll probably recover the fastest.
Yeah.
And I forget where I was going with that. And so the lesson is, I think, is too many people take bad advice from people who don't know how to make money. So whenever someone offers you a piece of advice, evaluate it. Be grateful for it. They're trying to help you, but then also qualify the information. Are they rich? If they're not, then I kind of discount what they're saying about how to get rich or how to lose money.
Sure. Next question. What top 3 pieces of advice do you have for a young person hoping to be financially successful?
Invest in yourself. This is something I didn't do early enough in my own work career. I probably took a few years off of studying, of reading, especially business books. So continue to develop yourself. The book that changed my world was a couple of books. Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. I would absolutely read that, probably first. And the second book I would read would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Because if you're a problem-solving type, you'll learn about problems you didn't think existed when you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, such as the amount of taxes that we paid. Like you're in school, you don't pay many taxes, but once you're done school, you're going to see how many taxes you paid. you pay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you quickly realize, well, making money should come down to how much money you make per hour, right? And I give an example. I had a friend who took a promotion. She made like an extra like $10,000 raise or something like that. But they gave her all these extra responsibilities and they expected her to work more, like more hours.
Mm-hmm.
So then that $10,000 actually worked out to a very, very small incremental pay per hour. And she's going to pay more taxes on that money. So is she really better off?
Yeah.
So one of the huge lessons that I learned soon after school was all the tax benefits usually go to entrepreneurs and investors. The best tax incentives go to entrepreneurs and investors. And if you believe in yourself that so say you go to get a job, say you get a great job, whatever it is, and then you have to evaluate whether or not you're getting paid what you're worth. What I realized was I was capable of capable of creating a lot more value than I was at a job I was in. So then I quickly realized that I was being underpaid. I could make more money working for myself than working for someone else. There's nothing wrong with having a job. Some people are built to have jobs. Myself, I learned a bit late was I don't like being told what to do. So I had the personality of an entrepreneur. So you have to figure that out for yourself. Sooner the better. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. The failure rate is extremely high, but more than ever is the path to success more well laid. The education that's available online is the best I've ever seen it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Next question. Did you have a mentor in your personal or professional life? If so, how did this mentor assist you in achieving success? And if you didn't have a mentor, why you didn't?
Anyone who says that they have a mentor who's successful, they're lying.
Yeah.
There's actually a thing where a lot of successful people actually don't give much credit to their coaches, which is fine. If you paid a coach, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I've had many, many people help me along the way. I think that's something that, especially young people, if they're listening to this, if your friends are listening to this, there's a lot of people that want to help. A lot of people want to give back, especially if they see that you're someone who's trying. So I've received lessons everywhere that I've been. So early mentors, pretty much every manager I've ever had was like a mentor or coach to me. And then even everyone above them as well, including like the owners of the company. They always had great advice to give because they live it. They've been there. A lot of them are really successful. A lot of them are incredibly bright. So one of the biggest ones for me was actually a lot of people from Western are going to listen to this, right? So I met my first wife at the Seeps. Is the Seeps still there?
Okay. Yes, okay. It is. Yeah.
So maybe that was a bad omen. I met my first wife at the Seeps. So it was actually her father that got us down the path of investing in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had his own business. He was actually a master plumber and had a successful plumbing business. And he was going down the path himself as a real estate investor. He read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was taking courses as well. And then he also suggested it to us. And that's when I had that aha moment. Like, why do I work a job trying to get a promotion when I'm just going to pay more tax? Right? I'm just going to get more responsibility and have to be responsible for people. There's nothing wrong with that.
For sure.
If you can skate and shoot pucks like Austin Matthews, go for it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was never suited to be a doctor, so I was never going to make a nice big salary, nice income like that. But I do all right. So definitely look for mentors everywhere. You don't have to. So actually, turn the question a little bit because I don't think people understand this often enough. Is you don't have to have a mentor or ask someone to be a mentor. You just ask people questions. Right? People ask me questions over social media over time and I answer them. As long as they're not too detailed, like especially on taxation, but like general questions, most people will answer your questions. Just don't tell them they're your mentor. And also, for example, one of the people that I consider my mentor is Brian Tracy. He's written a ton of books and he has produced many, many programs for really inexpensive. So even though I've never spoken to him, I consider him my mentor. Mm-hmm. And then I've had a business coach since 2011 as well that I pay a lot of money to. So when you're able to afford a coach, get a real coach.
Mm-hmm.
I have a fitness coach. I have 3 stock coaches. I have a real estate investment coach. I have a real estate business coach. So I think it's 7 coaches I have right now.
Right? Nice.
I probably still need more. Just sometimes I can be cheap. They're not cheap.
Yeah. Staying frugal.
It's not a good thing though.
So how did you view home ownership in your success? Should it be a small or large part of your monthly budget? And how soon should a young person buy a house?
You should buy a house ASAP.
ASAP? Okay.
have value in mind.
Mhm.
For example, we're recording this on February the 4th. Detached houses are ridiculously priced. So if you're buying today in this exact market, I'm a value investor. I look for value. So what's a value? Student rentals. Student rentals and apartment style condominiums. Right? What does no one want to buy right now? So those are the things I'd be trying to buy. So if I was you, for example, I'd be trying to buy a student rental right now. No one else wants to buy them right now. And I can rent it out to
the thing is,
students.
Is there a good demand for the students though, at least in this time when everything is online and people are staying at home for like their classes?
Part of being an investor is you're going to have to take on some risk, right? I'm already seeing in the news that Laurier is already making plans to be back in school.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So there's nothing wrong with waiting a bit more until, you know, go ahead and wait until Western says we are opening our doors again.
Yeah.
Right. Just know that you have like a week before all the other buyers come.
That's true. Start early. Right? Start
early. Borrow big steal. In the term house hacking. Even if you only can afford a condo, make sure you get at least 2 bedrooms or more so you can rent out bedrooms.
Yeah.
The way the world is set up in terms of financial policy, monetary policy, real estate isn't getting any cheaper. I don't know if it matters necessarily how much of your budget it is. It matters more about how much money is coming in, right? Okay. So, you know, the house you live in, I think there's a good chance you could break even on it. I don't know where you live. I know what city you live in. How many rooms are in your house?
Yeah. About 5.
Yeah. Right. So 5. And it's like what, $550 a room?
We actually rented out our basement. So we set up like a basement suite, renting it out for like $1,000. Yeah.
All right. What's the whole house rent for?
No idea.
You're in business. You're living in the opportunity.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe that's a little thing. That's maybe one of the advices I should have gone back to. Actually, this is something that I thought everyone did this. I'm naturally a problem solver. And so I actually even make up problems. Here's an example. This isn't necessarily a problem because I don't want to be political. But for example, at a certain point in time, just within the last month or two, it was pretty obvious that Joe Biden was going to become president of the United States.
Yeah.
So then what goes through my head is, how do I capitalize on this piece of information? Right? What businesses will he support? What industries will he support? And not even just that, I know he's going to increase funding, right? So then I'm strategic about what stocks I choose. Right? So I invested heavily in like solar power and battery related companies. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Right? So I'm always strategic whenever I take information in. When I learn something, I try to figure out how can I apply it to what I know already. Ultimately, how do I make money from it? And it's not always about money. Sometimes I take information like how do we be a better parent? Right?
For sure.
And it can be as simple as like I was having a conversation with one of my neighbors who is a school board psychologist. Right? So I'm asking a psychologist, psychiatrist. I think it was a psychiatrist. Right? So I asked him about like what's going on with ADD. He goes, "Oh, it's going through the roof, and only in the last X years." So then I think about how do I apply that information to raising my own kids. Right? Like you live in an investment piece of real estate. And you're telling me you don't know what it rents for, but you're taking business. Right? You need to make that switch because you'll never find the next crazy opportunity unless you're looking for it. Sometimes it'll land in your lap and then you'll figure it out. But you at least need to be able to convert data into something actionable. Right? You're in your 5th university.
Yeah.
You know Michael Dell never finished university? You know what Michael Dell is, right?
No, who is he?
Dell Computers?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dell Computers started when he was in second year college.
Nice.
Right? Because all these people wanted computers and they all wanted them customized. So then that's how I found the opportunity.
For sure.
Right? But you gotta be looking for it. You gotta be open to it. You gotta be open to opportunity.
Yeah.
Like you asked me about real estate. How I became so when I left Big Blue to be a real estate agent specialist for Hamilton real estate investors. And I determined that because I went to business school. I was able to evaluate the environment. And there was no one else doing that. There's no one else doing that. There are people that said they did, but really they were focused on other stuff. I was the only one that was going to say, I'm going to focus 100% on this. And also because I knew there was demand. So if I wasn't paying attention to where there was demand and where there was lack of supply, I would have never gotten into that business.
True.
Did I even answer the question?
I think you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got it all. Next question. How do you view automobiles in terms of your personal finances? So, believing in buying new, used, leasing, and what percentage of your budget do you think is reasonable to allocate towards operating a vehicle?
So I lease because I'm self-employed.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
If I wasn't self-employed and I had like a T4 job, I'd be buying something
yeah.
cheap and used
Okay, that's
and
fair.
reliable, like a Honda Civic.
hmm
Right.
Yeah, I think my personal finance prof, he doesn't like leasing at all, unless it's like for personal, like self-employed reasons.
Mhm.
But he always says like buy used, don't buy new, because in the first year you're losing about 40-50% of the value.
Right. So for my situation, I completely 100% disagree with that.
Okay, yeah.
Because my time is worth a lot of money. A lot.
hmm Okay.
Right. My businesses, or I have 2 7-figure businesses. My time is worth a
hmm
lot of money. So I need constant uptime. So I lease brand new cars
Yeah,
because if my car fails, that is a loss of my productivity.
for sure.
And it also potentially mean compromising safety of my family.
hmm
So that's a very, very expensive to me.
Yeah.
So straight up, my next car I'm getting is probably a Model X Tesla
Nice.
because it'll
nice.
self-drive. The
Yeah.
theory is that car will remove human error. So it will be cheaper on insurance. We should be in less accidents and higher uptime. And also, I won't need to pump gas anymore.
Yeah, that's always a benefit. And then there's no other like maintenance, like oil change or repairs or anything like that.
Yeah. So I'm sure if your finance professor, is talking about a certain situation, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, one day my car's going to drive me for me. It'll come pick me up.
I can't wait for that. Yeah. What percentage of your budget would you allocate towards vehicles though?
So for me, I would be allocating less than 50% of my third side hustle. But let me explain that a little bit. So I have one business, which is my realtor business. I have 5 agents that work for me.
Okay.
And then I have a second business, which I consider a side hustle. It's growing to be bigger than that now. Stock Hacker Academy.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to become a 7-figure business pretty soon. So that's one of my side hustles. My other side hustle is I own 9 properties.
Okay.
So that's my other side hustle. My third side hustle is my actual stock hacking or options trading.
Okay.
I want half of my annual income from my third side hustle to pay for my Model X.
Okay.
Understand how I bought my first house. It's like, regular people, you save up, be frugal, save up, buy a house.
Yeah.
Right. And then as prices went up, we were able to get a home equity line. I was able to buy another house. And I just kept doing that. And then I've sold some property. I've taken more home equity lines to fund my option trading account.
Sweet.
So my profits are making profits to pay for my flex car.
For sure.
Right. I would never use my T4 salary to pay for a flex car.
Okay. Yeah, using your passive income to pay for luxury items.
Exactly.
Nice.
Because if you're using real income to pay for luxury items, you'll never get rich.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Yeah, I think that's what he was basically talking about. Yeah. Like for an average person working like a normal salary, don't use your actual income to pay for extraneous luxury items.
Yes, I love that. My first car was a used Honda Accord with 2 doors, right?
Yeah.
And I would have driven that forever if I had a T4 job.
For sure. And with your student rentals, what are the majority of, like student rentals or?
I'm about half student rentals, half legalized duplexes.
Okay. And how is your stock hacking going for the year?
It is February 4th. I click on it to get a up-to-date number. People won't believe this. Hang on, it's just loading. Yesterday was like 9.5 on the year. No, sorry. I was over 21% for the year. The year to date, 22%.
How about since inception? Yeah. Okay.
Since inception? Oh, you don't want to know that one. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But again, it was just strategic. That's the word I meant to use, strategic. Like when I thought Joe Biden was going to become the president, that was strategic. I made some good money on weed stocks as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't really know anything about the business, but it was an educated, strategic. Oh, also when I was talking about strategic, after the market crashed, when do you want to get in?
Yeah.
After the crash.
Yeah. Buy the dip.
And then 22% this year. I'm going to I'm gonna make six figures probably by the end of February.
Wow. Have you been trading Tesla at all?
No, very, very little. I just didn't know anything about the business.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I did. That's okay.
Yeah,
I've made some good money on NIO and stuff like that.
Okay.
Made some good money on Workhorse.
Nice. Did you play around with GME during the hype of it, or no?
But only with what I was willing to lose. So, for example, on one day I had made 4,000 US. So then I threw back 1,000 US to buy Nokia shares.
Okay.
But again, that's like more like Vegas gambling, like sitting down at a blackjack table. I only invested what I was willing to lose. And again, I was using house money. I have 5 shares of GME right now.
Okay.
I also made a lot of money on GME leading up to this as well. I wasn't in the frenzy. I got out shortly after a few weeks after the Chewy founder got in.
Oh, okay.
I thought I made enough money in that, so I got out. I didn't know it would keep going.
Yeah, I went crazy, and that's down a lot today. It's sad. Next question. So what was the most challenging financial situation you faced in life, and what did you learn from it?
Tough one. Probably this year. I'm sorry, just about a year ago, when COVID hit. My main business is a realtor business. So our sales dropped like 60%, something like that. We only had sales technically because we'd sold them prior to the pandemic. So they're just closing during the pandemic. So we had serious cash issues. What saved us though was because we had multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. That's one of the greatest lessons I can ever express to any young person. Have multiple streams of income. So for example, our Stock Hacker Academy was doing well. So that actually funded a lot of my real estate operations. Right? Okay. It allowed us to pay bills. But we were never really that bad because we could always sell one of our houses.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. We always have that cushion. Doesn't take long to sell a house.
Yeah, because you recently sold your main primary residence, right?
Yeah. Just sold my home.
Yeah.
That's because we bought a new home.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to sell them.
Yeah.
Student rental is different. Student rental takes way longer to sell in this market. But again, like from a value investor standpoint, if I can find a student rental that I can convert to a duplex, I'd be all over it.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What last piece of wisdom regarding financial success or life in general would you like to pass on to me?
Always be inquisitive. Never stop learning.
Okay. The more you learn, the more you earn.
I make so much money from learning. It's not even funny. It's not always just making money. It's sometimes about saving money. Like, do you know what the Smith maneuver is?
Heard of it. We talked about it in class a bit.
Fantastic. Make sure you understand it. People like,
For sure.
A lot of people are like anti-government. Oh, they're trying to screw us, blah, blah, blah. They're incompetent. If you look at the way the tax laws are set up, they're entirely set up to favor the investor and an entrepreneur. Right? With tax incentives, they encourage us all to do more on our own because it's the entrepreneurs that create the jobs. Right? Yeah. Look how many jobs that Elon Musk has created. Right? Dude is set. He made over $1 billion selling PayPal. He doesn't have to do another thing in his life. But no, he wants to go change the world. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
A cool dude.
Really funny.
Cool dude. Yeah. Self-development, continuous improvement, stay inquisitive, read books, get plenty of sleep.
Awesome.
That help?
Yes, that has all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much.
Amazing. You graduate this year?
Yes, I will. Yes.
What are you going to
do? So I applied and am likely going to do my master's in international business in Dubai.
I've never been to Dubai. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Should be fun. Should be cool.
Keep it posted. How you doing? Keep posting on Instagram.
For sure. Yeah. I will.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Is your professor going to listen to this?
I can send him the link. Yeah, if he wants to. Yeah.
What did you do this for then? If they're not listening to it or grading you on it?
Well, no. I have to write up a whole report sort of thing on it. So.
Okay. So I don't mean to offend anybody about disagreeing with your prof.
No. I'm sure he'll understand.
But the argument I'm making is go back to your hourly rate. For example, if you're responsible for like $2,000 of revenue an hour, can you afford downtime of your vehicle?
Yeah.
Right. How do you limit downtime of your vehicle? Get something new. Get something reliable. get something with like a really good service plan,
Mm.
right? And a lot of those things cost money.
Yes, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Awesome. All right. Congrats.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you keep those connections. And you never know where they'll lead.
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Adnan. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Before you go, if you're interested in learning more about an alternative means of cash flowing like hundreds of other real estate investors have already, then sign up for my newsletter and you'll learn of the next free demonstration webinar I'll be delivering on the subject of stock hacking. It's a much improved demonstration over the one that I gave to my cousin Chubby at Thanksgiving dinner in 2019. He now averages 1% cash flow per week, and he's a musician by trade. As a real estate investor myself, I got into real estate for the cash flow, but with the rising costs to operate a rental business, it's just not the same as it was 5 to 10 years ago when I started. Never forget that cash flow reduces your risk. The more you have, the more lumps you can absorb. And if you have none or limited cash flow, you're going to be paying out of your pocket, like I did on a recent basement flood at my student rental in St. Catharines, Ontario. If you're interested in learning more, register for free for my newsletter at www.truthaboutrealestateinvesting.ca. Enter your name and email address on the right side. We'll include in the newsletter when we announce our next free stock hacker demonstration. Find out for yourself what so many real estate investors are doing to diversify and increase their cash flow. And if you can't tell, I love teaching and sharing this stuff.